Alina Habba is one of President Trump's attorneys, and she joins me now. Welcome to the program, Alina. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Okay, why was a new defense attorney, Todd Blanche, I believe, why was he added to the team last minute?
Well, Todd Blanche was actually speaking to us preliminarily. He's a great attorney. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's represented other people, as we know. And I'm happy to have him join the criminal team. I think he'll be a great addition.
Did he got Paul Manafort off the charges?
That's my understanding, yes.
And so he'll apply that knowledge, that expertise, that strategy to Donald Trump.
Yes, I mean, I think Donald Trump's case is a very easy one. I think it's a clear election interference case, but I'm not concerned, and I'm really happy. Look, you can't have enough brain power on a team. So we have a fantastic team right now.
So it seems like, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to ask a legal question. Sure. Seems like there are three motions that the legal team will file. Number one, dismiss the case outright. Number two, change the judge. Number three, dismiss Alvin Bragg.
Yeah.
Do any of those dismissal movements are likely to win?
I think there's a lot more than that. I can't get into privileged conversations, obviously. Sure. We do have a plan, but I would say that we have an A team right now that knows what they're doing. There will be several reasons that this should be dismissed. Statute of limitations, venue change, et cetera, is to be expected. But whatever it is, I think that most of it has been pointed out just from any other legal scholar, and Dershowitz or whoever you may see, and we're all kind of seeing that this is a waste of time case and should be dismissed.
It's an outside chance that the judge says, right, you don't have a case, walk away, and everybody goes home. That's not going to happen, is it?
Well, we'll see. I think it should happen, but my faith in the judicial system is a bit jaded at this point after a couple of years of representing Trump. So,
talk to me about the gag order. I believe a gag order would be standard. I mean, no defendant is surely allowed to walk out of the courtroom and badmouth the court or badmouth the DA.
Right. I don't think there will be a gag order.
Really? Why not?
I don't, because I think we're dealing with a political figure who's a candidate. I think they could deal with it in different ways. They could make sure that evidence doesn't come out and things that are critical to the case at hand. But to try and silence the leading GOP candidate, to try and silence somebody who needs to go into debates and respond to questions for the American people would be election interference, which frankly this is. So I think we have, if that were to even come up, I think we have a very solid First Amendment right argument, especially for my client.
Without interfering with attorney-client privilege, how would you describe former President Trump's demeanor at the moment? Is he combative?
That's not privileged. He's fantastic. Honestly,
is he combative?
No. No, he's not combative.
But that's not like him. He's usually very combative.
No, I think he's seeing this for what it is. I think he's gotten tremendous support. He has a good team around him, and he has won several cases that are brought out by people saying garbage, frankly, for lack of a better word. But you have to understand, this isn't really any different than the Attorney General case. This isn't any different than some of the other witch hunts that we have. So it's another day for him. And unfortunately, he's sad for the country. That is the only thing he is sad for, not himself.
Sad for America.
Yeah, I'm sad for America.
Political prosecution of a former president makes us look like third world.
Exactly. We're embarrassing right now. It's very embarrassing.
Alina, thank you very much for being on the show this morning. You're going to have a big day, we know that, but thanks for being here.
Why? Is something going on? No, no, we'll be okay. We're going to be just fine.
Alina Habba, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.